Hello, everybody. Welcome to the supervision tutorial, technical supervision, counseling, coaching about our energy-based therapies. And I hope that you're going to have a good time today. My idea is to be as practical as possible and to show as many examples of what do I mean by working energetically. And I am ready to take all the different inputs from people that work differently. We don't always work the same, but it's always really good to nourish ourselves from different perspectives about working with energy, be it with our hands, with our intention, with words, with sound or color, or there's so many different ways that we can engage into what is the movement of the energy and the stories that has to tell us and the solutions that can bring in when we can look at it or listen to it or feel it. It's to me is a great honor to be doing this work for nearly 30 years now. The plan for today is to have two couples working live and see how we can engage into this exchange of like somebody working, somebody receiving, and I'm going to be observing and you're going to be observing too, and then you will have as well your observations that will bring in towards the end of the session, that you can always bring in through the text box. Welcome. What's your name? We have Gael with Aaron?
Aaron.
Aaron. Okay, good. So I'm going to get myself out of the way, but I'm here.
Oh, God.
Focus on.
Okay, so I have an echo.
Maybe.
So I've trained in Zen Shiatsu. Yeah, in Zen Shiatsu, and I've been introduced to quantum Shiatsu in 2018. I've been working a little bit, a lot with that technique. I find, however, sometimes difficult to work faster, because when I'm working on some point, I can feel the point needing me to stay a bit longer. And I also, like I told you, I can feel the auric field around me moving and swirling and changing, but I have no idea what to make of it. So usually I just, stay back and let everything happen. But that has an impact on the rapidity of my touch.
So, you mean that it is, in your opinion, your touch is too slow? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think, well, it's not that it's too slow, but it's what I would like it to be, and what it is do not necessarily match. And sometimes it goes rapidly, but sometimes I get stuck in point, and it's like I can't go away because I don't know, something's happening, obviously, and it's only after a certain time it's like this tubo is pushing me away from the point, and then I know I can move on. So okay, it's a bit contradictory.
One question. There are no contradictions here. It's okay. You can be working really, really, really fast on your thumbs and this, and then suddenly, boom, there's something that calls your attention, and you stay there. Now, the one important thing here is that do you stay in a fixed position, or you stay in the same point, activating the same point repeatedly?
It depends. It can be either or.
Okay.
It can be I stay on the point and I can feel that things are shifting and the point is either expanding or contracting. Most of time is expanding,
Okay.
and he has reached his full potential, it's like push me away, and then I know I can carry
Okay.
on.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Oh.
Just to give you a picture of what I feel happens when I get into the same pattern as you do, is like I press on the point, I feel that it's going to be expanded. It doesn't necessarily expand completely at the moment that I press, but I set the my technique in such a way that I leave that happening even if my thumb moves on. I don't know if it makes sense.
Oh.
So it's like I can move
Yeah.
on, but my mindset is I'm holding you there, and I keep going, but my part of my attention is on that point, and I can feel it as it fills up or keeps expanding, and then if necessary, I'll go back, but most of the time,
Okay.
it's not no need. But anyway,
There is no need.
let's see how you do it,
Okay, so I'll
and
do
let's
a hara first.
well, since your question is about the specific technique,
Okay, so we'll
let's quickly pick a meridian.
Can you see properly, or should I bring the camera a bit closer?
We're okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just going to work the the bladder meridian. That's quite easy.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just tell me when you find one of such points that you would normally.
There is a tension here.
Yeah. What happens there is quite interesting. It's as if when you touch on one side, it crosses to the other. It's like a transversal reaction in the upper back, and it doesn't happen as you go down.
There is some tension here too.
Yawning is a good indication that there's something going on.
Okay, so.
All right, something's happening there.
Yeah. You see, I stay. Okay, but I'm going to try to carry on.
What do you feel? Again, what do you feel right there on that point?
I feel the point is feels a bit harder than the other, but as I've done exactly what she said. So I keep my focus on the one that was reacting under my thumb, and I carry on to the other one, and then I can feel that they're talking to each other. So the energy is moving from the lower thumb back up to where there was a problem. And I know I can maybe go back in a wee minute, but I can carry on. Now it's talking. No, I don't need to go back. I get the connection throughout the bladder meridian between all those points. I've kept them, and if I move a bit faster.
Yeah, it's happening.
There is a bit of a here. That's what I felt at first. It feels a bit stuck too.
Okay, let me give you a suggestion. put your knees closer together. Instead of opening up, you separate. That's it. And step a little bit further back from him with the knees.
Yeah.
That's it. And now place your hand on his back.
Yeah. Just the two hands.
Yeah. Or one. It doesn't matter. The point is that if you too much, okay, what happens is that the sacrum, which is the joint that unites the two legs on the hips, the sacrum gets constrained. So the more open there are, the less the distance here. The closer your knees are, the more the sacrum opens up. Okay, great.
Okay.
Now I think you're a little bit too close to him. Separate yourself from him a little bit from your knees. That's it. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
If I do that, I get onto my kidney.
Okay. Now, when this happens, what I'm doing here is I'm pushing you to become imbalanced. That I want you to lose a little bit of your balance. So you are going to need him. You need him to support you.
Okay.
Okay. If you are completely perfect on your own, you're not. You don't need him. It needs to be 50-50. You know, like if I put 55%, I am overdoing it. I want to be in such a way that if he's not there, I feel I shouldn't be there. Okay, so as much pressure as I put in, as the same amount of support, it has to come up from him.
Okay.
So if I am too balanced, I don't need him. I have to be a little bit imbalanced in order to need him right under my hand.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work with your back now?
It changes everything.
Yeah. What is it that is changing?
I can feel the energy around here, like swirling and shifting.
Exactly. And under your hands, things are not as different as they used to be. Everything starts to be a little bit more even because you're focusing on something else. So whatever you're doing with your thumb has a bigger impact now. Just because you are losing your balance. If you have too much balance, it wouldn't happen. Your jaw relaxed.
I can feel it. It's all there. Oh, that's crazy.
It's about fun. You know, you really need to have fun as you work, because fun is what keeps you expanded and light. You know, so you don't, you know, we do serious work, but we don't need to take it that seriously. You know, it has to be light. It has to be fun for you. You know, as I was talking with Sarah before, you know, like, what do I want to communicate with my touch? Well, one of the things that I want to communicate is relaxation, opening, fun, a joyful life. Okay. And the first thing that you need to do in order to do that is that you have to be comfortable. Physically comfortable means mentally open. Okay. So I know that what I suggested might take a little bit of time, because this very open stance of the legs is very common in Shiatsu, but it applies to a very specific type of touch, which is not the type of touch that you're doing. Okay. Now, the thing about the speed is that if you are completely supported on yourself, of course you can stay in one point forever. But if you need him to support you because your balance depends on it, you need to keep moving. Otherwise, you start to contract.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Let's have Aaron turn around. Aaron, if you can turn around, that'd be great.
Yeah. Oh.
And you do the same on the. Okay, if you can sit on the futon and you work on his back in the sitting position, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay,
Just keep on the.
Okay, so
As you were, it was better if we see you from a profile, so we can see her hands. Yeah. Aaron?
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. Wonderful.
Okay, applying the same.
So keep working the bladder channel as you were before. Yeah. Okay, now it's not working because you're too imbalanced. Bring, for example, your left knee up.
Oh.
There you go. And try again. How does it feel?
Yeah. Hot.
Hot.
It feels more. No, the fireplace is just there, but it feels more. There is more energy. I mean, I can feel the heat coming up.
Yeah,
and
the energy moves more.
Happening, and there is more connection.
Yeah, so the fact that you're a little bit imbalanced doesn't mean that you are overly imbalanced and then you were pushing him forward. Every time you touch, he was shaking. And that's not something that you want to do. It has to feel like a hot butter, like a hot knife in butter. Just like goes through, but not pushing. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And you can have more distance from him if you step back a little bit. That also works. Right. So, any questions? We finished with the work. Aaron, did you notice a difference in the touch when she was applying this different way of touching?
Yeah, well, Wingo, she also touched me a bit softer. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Gail, anything that came up for you?
Well, I felt more reaction as I was working the viewpoint. I got more connection with the heart protector and the heart, and I could feel the fire element coming through, and not only because of the fireplace.
Okay, all right.
I felt more connected to the. Well, I felt the unity. I had that feeling of of unity that I didn't achieve before when he was lying on his front.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I wish I had a glass of water here, but there's a very simple exercise that you can do. You fill a glass of water up to pretty much the top, and then you bring your finger just onto the surface of the water without touching it. And you will see that the water comes up to your finger.
Okay.
So too much pushing and you get into the water. Not enough contact and nothing happens. But if you bring your thumb, your finger, just close enough to the water, but without touching it, the water will come to you. And this is the principle that we want to feel is happening. You know, like that he puts his 50% and you put your 50%. Okay. So sometimes you have to show up, to be there, and allow him or invite him to come up to your call, you know, to your contact, instead of you doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much. It's been fantastic. Can we have some questions from the rest of the participants? Is there anything that you have observed that you want to mention to Gael or to Sarah? Or any questions that you have about what we've seen happening here? Sarah says, I also get back pain in some positions. I have to adjust myself. How do other people manage that? Gael, how do you do?
Well, obviously, I get the same. I have exactly the same thing, but I think, like you just said, it's 50-50. And up to today, my treatment were probably 80-20. So I put in 80, and I don't let the patient rise to their 50.
Yeah.
So I will need to work on that.
Yeah. Now, the more you relax, the more you invite them to support you. Okay. The more you let go, the more you invite them to support you. Sarah, that would be the same advice for me. Let go, open up, be comfortable, and don't try to do anything. You know, because it doesn't work when you do it. It has to be done 50-50. You know, if one of my clients during the session falls asleep, I mean, there are many ways of falling asleep, but some people fall asleep and they go away. Okay. If that happens, I contract myself and I give them a good elbow somewhere in a subo so they come back. Because there's no sense in doing a session, as Gael says, 80-20 or 90-10 or 100%, you do it for them. It has to be done together. Otherwise, there's no point in engaging in this meeting of energies, or this meeting of souls. You know, there has to be participation from both sides. And the pain in the back is usually because of that. You're overdoing. Now, the other thing that you could try is to work on a table, because, you know, Shiatsu is beautiful, and like every Japanese thing is done on the floor. You know, they eat on the floor and they sleep on the floor. But in the West, we don't have that habit. So for us, although, you know, we went through the Shiatsu training and we learned how to go back to the floor, is not necessarily the most natural thing for us to do. Feels great, but if you have recurring issues with your back, try working on a table. You know, I've been working on a table for 20 years now, and my teacher Pauline Sasaki did work on a table too. After, you know, I asked her to help me to move from the floor to the table, you know, she found out that she felt more comfortable doing it on the table as well. Natasha says, is the constant contact during an absolute must, as most of the schools teach? What is Diego's opinion and experience? No, actually, contact is not physical contact. Contact is attention contact. You know, like as I explained in the technique to Gael, you know, like, okay, you have this point here that calls your attention. You need it to be doing something else than what it's doing. You keep your attention there and you keep moving. You know, and I can stop altogether and my attention is there and every subo is working just because I am in contact with the energy field, with what needs to be done, with a vibration of purification or whatever is what I picked up from the beginning. So during the session, it's not necessary to have full physical body contact 100% of the time. I think it refers more to your attention. Okay. Then Sarah says, I gave shiatsu to people recovering from substance misuse for 6 months, and the clients would often fall asleep. Felt like they really needed the rest. Was it wrong to not wake them up then? Their ability to get the rest they need was what they reported most commonly as the main benefit. They experiencing nights preceding the sessions. I don't get the last part, but it's okay if somebody falls asleep. As I say, Gael, I'm gonna disconnect your camera and your microphone. Thank you very much for participating. To you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's not a sin if somebody falls asleep. It's okay. People that are in substance abuse, that's a very common reaction, and it's okay. It doesn't matter if they're asleep or not. What does matter is if they disengage. Sleeping is not only disengaging, but if you feel that you lost them, then you need to get them back. Okay. And say after the sessions, they find it easier to sleep. Yeah, that's a regular side effect of shiatsu. I hope somebody gets really on to study that and prove that. But so after the sessions, they find it easier to sleep, which had a positive effect on other aspects of the recovery. Absolutely. And said, yes, I work on the table more and more these days. Gisela, how do you feel that you have lost them? Well, because it's like there's no response. You know, if I get used to that 50-50 response, and then, you know, I start, knocking on the door and there's nobody there, there's no response, I feel them that they're gone. It could be either because they fell asleep or they are distracted. You know, people get distracted very, 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 very often. You know, a lot of people, for example, get to massage more than shiatsu, but they get to shiatsu sessions too, to zonk off, to relax so much that they go onto, paradise, and they end up in a gorgeous beach and the sun, and but that's not here. That's not happening here. And as much as the images could be very active and they might be enjoying, they're not here. Engaging to me feels that they are here participating in what's going on, and they feel what's going on in their body. If they leave the body there and they take off, that's not good for us. Do you want to have a conversation with somebody that doesn't reply? So there's no such thing as start the session, they zonk off, you finish the session, and then you wake them up, and during the session they were gone. No, they have to be there, like it or don't like it. In my case, I ask them, I show up, I pay attention 100%. Well, I want you to at least be there. Okay. If you're not interested, well, there are a million other ways of relaxing, but it's not through my sessions. I think my time is better used with people that want to pay attention and find out what is the conversation that the body has, what is the message that the body has for them, and how they can communicate and connect through the energy with somebody else. Okay. All right. So thank you very much for all. We went a little bit over the time that I had expected, but it was great. I really liked the practices of Sarah and Gael. Thank you very much, and all your questions as well. We're going to stop here. The conversation continues. Remember, we have this group called the Energy Supervision for Supervision Group for Energy Body Workers on Facebook. I also have an upcoming course coming starting next week on the meaning of symptoms and the meaning of what all these little things are, and the meaning of meridians, and the meaning of expansion and contraction, and headaches or migraines, or so it's I invite you to check out that on my website as well. And if you have any questions about what we did, just contact me. I'll be very happy to continue the conversation through the Facebook group. And if you want an individual or up to 4 practitioners tutorial or supervision, I am available as well. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Goodbye.